Well, hello there, humans, these earthlings, whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, and if you're lucky enough to be doing it too. Welcome back to the channel. I'm Bushka Blitz, and this is the Tiger 2, and it's a fortuitous time to be doing this video because this tank has basically got a whole new heap of people running up towards it. Why? Well, because the Tiger 2 comes after the Tiger 1, and the Tiger 1 copped an absolutely monstrous amount of buffing recently, and that's made it a really, really popular Tier 7 heavy tank all over again. And because of that, I've decided to run this little number out, the Tiger 2, and give you a wee look at it and let you know why I think it's actually pretty special and has probably become the best side scraper at Tier 8. And I say that fully aware that there are tanks like the KV5 and KV4 and such around, but for all that, they don't really have the same kind of mobility that this tank has, which allows it to both actually side scrape effectively and move around the battlefield, not like a slow glacier melting somewhere in the northern pole. And that's exactly what the Tiger 2 does. It gets around very, very quickly for a big, fat, heavy tank. Now, the key to this tank is not the Tier 9 gun. It's not just the mobility. Indeed, it's not the accuracy. It's not really any of those things. It's the number 80. Now, 80 is the side armor of the tank. 80 millimeters of slightly angled, not quite flat side armor gives you a very, very strong and easy to side scrape vehicle. Now, for side scraping, note 101, to find out what side scraping is, you can always go and check out, there is a tutorial series I've done with like how to angle, how to hull down, camo, all that kind of thing. And there is a playlist up on bushkaonblitz.com for that if you want to go and check it out and find out how side scraping and all that is. But without that, that's the Tiger 1's 80 millimeters of side armor there. And you can see as you angle, that's 208 millimeters of pen power from the Centurion Mark 1, which is pretty much what you're going to be facing from a lot of tanks at this tier, 200 to 220, that kind of thing. And that 80 millimeter section there, which also goes down behind the tracks, allows you to angle the tank up and bounce a lot of shots from the side, as well as you've got a fairly strong upper glacis. And it allows you to really utilize the side scraping and angling playstyle. And that's something that the Tiger 1 suffered tremendously from way back in the day when matchmaking was +2, -2. I don't want to go too far into it, but +2, -2 was great for people that wanted to farm other people, improve their win rate and damage, because you could run a tank like the E100 and come up against tanks like Tiger 2s and Carnarvons. And that was an enormous barrel of laughs for all concerned, because you had Buckley's chance of doing bog all to them. Now, though, you're going to see, if you're clever with this tank and you have a sensible playstyle, you have a lovely Tier 9 105mm gun, and if you don't go out sideways and give free shots, you'll be just Jim Dandy. You're going to see there's an IS-5 with me here. He's so desperate to get shots in that IS-3. He does actually try and come around sideways. So I'm side scraping here. Got the IS-3 completely under control, and I get stopped because this guy's going to go out sideways. Now, when you go out sideways, as you often have to do in Russian Tier 8 heavies, like the IS-3, the IS-3 Defender, the IS-5, often the side scraping option is not available because you have a pike nose. I mean, you can try it, but it can be very, very difficult. When you go out sideways, you are much more likely to lose hit points. You can see the flattened pike there on the IS-5 means he gets hit quite comfortably, and he just bleeds a little bit of hit points. Now, that's just one of those things that happens. We finish off the IS-3. We're going to cop one from the Vindicator over there because we tunnel in a little bit hard on this T-44. But this is the playstyle of the Tiger 2. You love these maps. Now, I drove 3 games in this tank the other day. I quite often do these videos where I just drive 3 games straight and talk about what happens in the games and how they affect the playstyle of the tank. And you're going to see in the 3 games, I tried to keep the tank in an area where there is cover, that I can actually side scrape and angle off, and then use to wrong foot heavy TDs and well-armoured but much slower vehicles than me to put good, effective, solid cover between me and them. And I'm going to try and overmatch the sides of that 50mm worth of side armor on the T28. We do that pretty comfortably. And then I'm back into the Vindicator. You can see the angling I'm doing with the tank. You really should learn how to angle. If you don't know how to angle, I can heartily recommend the Tiger 2. A long time ago, there was a guy when I first started Blitz who was a better player than me, and he kind of played some games with me, and he was, you know, I was like 48% win rate and he was like 60% win rate, and I was driving American heavies, and he said, you know, you really should go and play the German heavy line. It'll teach you how to side scrape and it'll make you a better player. And he was spot on. So long ago I can't even remember his name. But there you go. And that's all we're doing in this town area here. We are meandering about, angling, using the mobility to wrong foot the heavies and the TDs, and then reaping the rewards. It's exactly what you should do. We've only got the one tank left, and so we're going to go out and help with him. So I play 3 games. One of those games is on Rockfield, and I have to display a little bit of panache and daring and sensible gameplay to get through that one. And that's the first game out of the 3. It was a lovely mastery, 3,680 damage, high caliber, 4 kills, 1,297 spotting damage as well, 1,399 XP is pretty bloody good. That'll get you a mastery in most tanks in the game, unless they're super high damage tanks or really, really OP. But let's get back to the Tiger 2 itself. So let's talk about the gun. You've got a 105mm KWK L68, 6.7 rounds a minute, 225mm of pen on your AP, and 285 on your APCR. And that is, in fact, a very, very nice gun for the job. It's a lower rate of fire than the 105mm that you get just before it, the KWK L52, which has the same alpha but more rounds a minute, but that drops 25mm of pen on your AP and 41 on your APCR. The 285mm of APCR pen allows you to pen anything you're going to come up against. You can deal with anything you come up against with that APCR. And the fact that it's got a .312 dispersion gun is just gravy as far as a Tiger 2 is concerned, because that allows you to side scrape effectively, pull out and actually hit the shot. You don't have to wait forever. You've got a 3.7 second aim time, so you don't have to wait forever for the aim time to come in like you would on a KV3 or a T150 or an IS3 or an IS3 Defender or an IS5. You have a good aim time and you have a good gun. That allows you to effectively output good damage. You also have 7 degrees of gun depression. Now you're going to see here this Borsig shot. This highlights exactly why you love the gun on the Tiger 2. Really, really good shot and very, very effective. And we didn't have to stop for ages. In fact, we're pushing pretty bloody hard here. And again, I've gone town, which is kind of against the ethos for me, but I've just got sick and tired of trying to go up the hill when they've got one medium and that medium bails down anyway, or, you know, it just doesn't work out. And I'll just generally now go with the team. Like, just, you can be right or you can come second, or you can do both. Like, you can be right and come second when you go up the hill on your own. And you can see here, I knocked that little tree down. That's an intentional thing. If you have a lower glacis like this that they can't actually see, it makes it very, very hard for them to know if it's going to pen or not. So you'll bounce a lot more shots if you have soft cover in front of you. And I'm retreating here, wiggling and jiggling my butt so that these guys are having a hard time to get to me and pen me. Now the T44's got 2200 DPM. I know that I don't have to worry about him as much as I do about this Tiger P, who has 2700 DPM, so I clear the 44 first. Now the 44 is trying to deal with this glacial. He's in a proverbial rock and a hard place. And we've been pretty aggressive in this game, but we're in town. Now this is the element for this tank. You are in the element. You also have 41 degrees of traverse, so you are able to quite comfortably get around in areas like this. When you wiggle, when you move backwards and forwards, when you juke backwards and forwards with your lower plate, you are very comfortable doing that, and 41 degrees of traverse helps you to do that. I actually think I was the first bloke in Blitz to call it juking. Way back when I think I did an E100 review or something on the old Rockfield, and I was juking and called it juking, and people were like, what do you mean by juke? And I had to stop and do a whole slow motion thing on juking. There you go. Your turret traverse is 24 degrees as well. So you're able to track targets, you're able to stay in front of them. And you can side scrape. 80 millimeters of armor on your side means you can get 200 millimeters of armor on your side very, very comfortably, but more importantly, you can make it an auto bounce zone very, very comfortably. So if you have someone and you're face hugging them and they can't get the gun down, and you're wiggling your turret around and you're moving your side, you're a hard target. Now you have flat areas around your gun mantlet, which is a very, very small gun mantlet, and that's tough. So you have to angle that, and you also have to not expose it. And your hatch, likewise, can be a weak point. So you've got to watch out for that. But for all that, I really, really like playing the Tiger 2 now. And when I did a training for tournaments thing with Pramo to showcase how you should be going about preparing for tournaments, how you should go about setting up a team for tournaments, and how you can go about calling in tournaments, one of the things that they looked at was side scraping on maps at Tier 8 tournaments. And they chose Tiger 2s, the guys from Premo, Raikkonen and everyone. They had Tiger 2 set up as their side scrapers in town. I got to drive one there, and my interest in the old girl was rekindled anew. And this is a big, this video is actually, I should call it Sham Equus's revenge, because Sham has been championing the Tiger 2 for absolutely bloody ever. And I told him that the Lerva was better and blah, 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 blah. And I think I prefer the Tiger 2 to the Lerva now, which is saying something. Now you can see I've got my head on a swivel here. I am watching, keeping that rock between me and the guys on my right, and I'm supporting the guys on my left because, you know, things can get pretty tough. I don't angle up hard enough there, and that RU gets one into me. He's got a nice gun, he's got good DPM, and he's got good penetration numbers, so it's no real surprise there that he does. Now, that was always wishful thinking. Should have switched over to APCR. Going through the thickest part of the side armor there from below was pretty dodgy shot, but there you go. Now that Yag, I want to side scrape to the Yag, I want to side scrape to the guys on my right, I want to side scrape to the guys on my left. Things are all round looking pretty tough. And we just sneak one in through the bottom of the lower plate there as he's going. We were looking for drive wheel, but we got lower plate. So you take the win if you can. There's that IS-5 again, pushing up, supporting the guys on my left. Bang, clear him. 78 hit points will do the job. Drop the adrenaline, and we're going around here to start putting some shots into this Yag Tiger, the 8.8. Now, the Yag Tiger 8.8 is a good tank, but it's not really in a good position there to be successful. Not really the ideal thing to be doing with it. I love the fact that this is such a synchronous transition between the Tiger 2 now and the E75. The armor profile of the E75 is much better than the Tiger 2's, but for all that, there's the wiggle again, and for all that, it's very much the same playstyle. And you're going to see the mobility here in just a second. I'm going to put the rock between me and the defender, push around. I know that there is a Yag Tiger 2 down there. I'm consistently worried about him. So what I'm going to do is go all the way around so the Yag Tiger 2 can't go up, then turn back round. So now I am able to angle to both the defender and the Yag Tiger 8.8. I called him a Yag Tiger 2. I don't know why. Yag Panther 2 I'm probably thinking of. So I'm getting down here into the back of the Yag Tiger, and I'm keeping him between me and this IS-3 defender. I know as long as I've got 1,200 hit points left that I'm going to be a full roll at better than average numbers for this bloke in the defender, and I will be able to take all those while putting in easy shots at 285 millimeters of APCR pen right through his spaced armor like it's butter. And this is why you love this tank, because I'm bullying a tier 8 monster in the defender here. He can't clear me. We get one bounce. He's had to fire heat rounds there as well, the premium to ensure that he penetrates, and we managed to clear him. And that's our third and final game in a very, very good little tank. Well, little's not really the word. And it is such a wonderful, wonderful vehicle for the, you know, the more staid and classical tankers amongst us. The guys who really love the well-known, storied, real tanks from WW2, etc. The Tiger 2 is certainly one of those. And getting to see it up close and personal at Bovington was a real treat last year. I saw the Tiger exhibit with the Yag Tiger, the Tiger 2, the 131, and the Sturm Tiger in virtual reality. They had that going on there as well, which was pretty freaking cool. Loved Tank Fest. Gee, I wish I was going there this year, but unfortunately, you know, can't. Look after yourselves, guys. Make sure you get to the Tiger 2. It's well worth a look. And I might even do an E100 review very, very soon again, because I was lucky enough to be part of a promo training that they put on the other night with about 30 or 40 people involved, where they went through the E100. KS took us through the E100, the ins, the outs, the absolute best way to drive it, and all the weak points. And gee, it was really helpful and wonderful to do. So hats off to the guys from Promo for doing that and holding that, and thanks for letting me come in and hear all about that as well. Until next time, guys, look after yourselves, stay safe on the battlefield, and bye for now.